Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Kick Off Your Damn Heels. I am Dr. Teralyn, and I am here with my friend Sam Buckingham, and Sam is over in Australia, so she's across the pond from me. And I'm like, Sam, what is the title that I can use for you? And I said, I'm just going to do something crazy. So Sam is the goddess of all things public speaking. She helps badass women like yourself get clear on their message and put you on stage. Am I correct?
You absolutely are, Dr. T. Thanks so much for having me.
You bet. I think you need that as your new slogan because you are the goddess of all things public speaking.
Fantastic. I actually love it. It's a great one to go to market with.
It is. All right, Sam. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are? So what's your story?
Oh, okay. I studied speech and drama from a little girl. I happened to live next door to a speech and drama teacher, and I studied the curriculum from Trinity College of London, the art of speech. And it saw me end up on stages. I was in acting and in all of the performances and plays through school. And then I got out of school and ended up in amateur theatre, then into professional theatre. I got picked up by an agent and plonked into television, with my first role being on the TVSN, which is the Australian shopping, the equivalent of QVC in the States, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So I was an on-air presenter. So I presented, health and beauty, homewares, fashion, jewelry, kitchenware, etc. And I worked 20 years as a freelance TV presenter, and I did a lot of direct response advertising, which is all of those advertorials in morning chat shows. I'm guessing you guys in the States have the same. Good Morning America.
Yes. Good Morning America. Yes, go ahead.
And so people go on there and promote their product for 4 minutes and talk endlessly.
Yeah.
And they're quite annoying. Well, I was one of those girls that did that. Sorry, everyone.
No.
But it was a lucrative little world. And so it's called direct response advertising. So I was the face of many, many brands, from fast-moving consumer goods to national service providers and everything in between. So I would go on and tell the latest deal of products. So I was the face of Australia's largest internet service provider for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So I had regular work on all of our TV networks, in all of the morning chat shows, and free-to-air and paid TV infomercial spots. I also sold mops and cleaning equipment and, superfluous and useless, as well as useful goods.
Nice.
So I would describe myself actually as a brand whore. Is that okay to say?
Oh, yes. It's called Kick Off Your Damn Heels. You can say that.
Good. Yeah. I was a brand whore. I didn't say no to much. I did say no to some products, but
okay, I gotta ask you though. I have to ask you, what was the weirdest thing that you were a brand whore for?
Oh, can I even say it on here?
Oh my gosh.
Anusol cream, which is a hemorrhoid cream.
Yes.
That's the glamorous side to my job, ladies.
Yes. Nice. That's funny.
And then I did a whole series, actually recently in the last couple of years, for the Australian Menopause Clinic. That was a sign that my career was coming to an end. When I no longer, I sat in this beautiful, lucrative space for a long time, because the most influential household decision maker are women between around 30 to 40, early 40s. So from my point of mid-20s to mid-40s, I sat perfectly and spoke to that market. So whether it was cars, holidays, insurances, houses, household products, women of that age are the most influential decision maker of a family. But once you tip past that age, which I have, I then got into funeral plans, cruises, and menopause.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the signs were there that my career on television was wrapping up.
Yeah.
Hence why I have gone back to my roots, and I'm now using all of my experience and my original training to help people bring their message to the world, and have the confidence to share it. Right?
And that's the most important part, because so the audience that listens to me has a lot to do with anxiety, right? And typically they're women that are career driven, and but they have this anxiety. And I've also found myself having this performance anxiety sometimes, because when you get in front of a group, usually I feel like I black out. Like I just in front of the group and I say stuff and I can't remember anything that I said. And I get off and I'm like, how did I do okay? Did I do all right? But so often we're asked to speak in front of a group, whether it's a small group or a big group. People want to know what we know. And it's anxiety provoking. It is, if you don't have a message, if you have a message, but you don't know how to put it together so that it makes sense, that I think that's where the anxiety is, right? Like, I know what I want to say, but I'm not really sure that you want to hear what I have to say, number one. And number two, how do I put it together that makes sense? So how do you help women get their message clear? What is your process? Yeah.
Great question. And just to back the truck up just for a second, listening to Oprah Winfrey, she said, every single person she interviews, including Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Ellen DeGeneres, whoever, they always say after the interview, was that okay?
Yes.
They ask the question because we all have this sense that maybe I wasn't quite right. Maybe I didn't address what you wanted me to address. There's all of these expectations out there, and we all so desperately want to meet all the expectations out there. But when we don't know what they are, how on earth can we feel that we've met them, right? It's kind of crazy. So it brings me into knowing what your message is and having a very clear and concise message to market about what it is that you stand for, what it is that you want to say and share with the world, and having the words all worked out so that they roll off your tongue. And the second part to that is knowing that your take on things, your message is absolutely okay. It's okay too if you polarize the audience. But all people want is to know and feel your conviction. And your conviction is your persuasion, your stance, your take on things, your belief, what it is that you stand for. Now, everyone in the room may not agree with it, okay? But as long as you stand true in that, they will admire you and remember you for your conviction.
Okay, so I love that, by the way. I love that because as you're talking, I'm thinking I was just asked to do a speaking engagement in the spring here. Yep. And they liked my brand, right? The Kick Off Your Damn Heels. They liked it that I was different. But then when they started sending me these emails, they wanted to change my message. They wanted to like water it down, dull it down, like make it agreeable to the audience. And I said to my husband, I said, I don't think I can do it. I don't, because it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right.
From under you.
Right.
That's your platform.
Right. Exactly. And they took it away. So when you talk about like standing firm and believing in yourself, like I just said this to my daughter the other day. I said, sometimes you have to take a stand, even if you're the only one standing. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm like, I think that's where I need to be with the speaking thing. So you just like gave me chills. Like, I'm like, ooh, like, I love this. I love this because it's not about watering down or being agreeable to get the gig. It's about standing firm in who you are and presenting that no matter what. Unwavering, right? Unwavering.
That's right. And when you can work out your language around it. So that's the thing. You need to put in work like anything. If you want a good bicep muscle, you got to do the curls, baby.
Right. Yes.
You can't get it any other way. There ain't no pill. There's no Botox or anything that'll give you the bicep.
Right.
That'll give you the guns. You want the guns, you do the curls.
Yeah.
Okay? If you want your message to resonate with people, you've got to find the language. And you say over and over and over and over, talking to yourself, ladies, isn't for the crazy ones. It's for the smart ones. It's for the smart gals that want to nail their message to market.
Yes.
And I'm saying that whether or not you're wanting in a sales position or whether you're just making a stand for something. Getting the language around what it is that you believe and being strong on that. And repeating it and practicing it so that it rolls off your tongue organically is the way to go.
I like that because I roll through like, how many times was I wishy-washy and how did that work out? It didn't work out. It's always the times when I'm not wishy-washy that things work out. You know, when you are, you're like, well, I'll try to make it agreeable to you. Then it doesn't work out at all. You know?
No, that's right.
Yes. Go ahead.
And also then, so when I teach people to bring their message to market, not only is it about nailing your message with your language and owning your stance, but it's also claiming and owning your voice. Because whilst we can be strong in our message to market, we can dilute everything by the way we deliver it with our voice. If we're kind of feeling that we don't own it, but we're wanting to pretend and have people believe that we do, we can really undermine that message. Yes. So it's about the feeling, and see your voice stems from your solar plexus. That's where your voice starts from. It's where your thoughts and feelings merge together as one. And it's your thoughts that carry the voice, that lead the voice. So if you can have strength from when those thoughts and feelings meet and then allow that to come through in expression on stage as strength in your stance, then you've nailed it. You've got it. So essentially, I do quite a deep dive into the voice and about owning who you are in this world, because emotion guides the voice, not the other way around.
That's really, I got to write that down because that's going to be a quote. Emotion guides the voice.
It's readable.
Yes. So as you were talking, I was thinking, yeah, because you've had to own a lot of things as you were being a product whore, right? Like you've had like you have to believe in that mop, you know, you have to believe in the message that you're selling about the hemorrhoid cream. You know?
Absolutely. I can't pretend. So look, here's a really good secret for everyone, you've got to find all the time when you speak, you are being of service to someone.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is find that one person in a sea of thousands of people that could most benefit from your message and speak to only them. Now, when I would sell a mop, I remember selling a mop and bucket, and the bucket had this division in the middle, and you put the mop in the clean water and would squeeze it out, and then you'd rinse it in the other side, and it somehow separated dirty from clean. I can't remember how you did it. It took me a while. I was like, oh, okay. And I had to demonstrate it on set, on the linoleum that they lay down on the floor. And I thought, wow, this is quite complicated, but actually, who would really love this? Who would love it? And I was starting to think of the avatar, that one person. And I was thinking, how old would they be? What would they look like? What would their home look like? Our house crowd, blah, blah, blah. They like to systematize things. They like to have great control over how they use things. I really pictured who it was. And I was like, I've got it. I could speak with utmost conviction and passion to that one person. And that helped me get the message through.
Yeah. And because I'm thinking like, who's the stage, or what is the stage? And so I'm thinking like the stage could be a client, one client that you have, you know, like let's say you're a realtor, like your stage could be your client. Like, how are you going to know them? How are you going to speak to them? How are you going to connect with them? Right. Yeah. So this doesn't always have to just be, you're speaking to people who are talking in front of 100 people.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
You can speak from between 1 and 1,000. It can be 1-on-1 in a meeting room, or 1-3, or 1-1,000 on a global stage, whatever it is.
Right. So it is about that confidence in voice, no matter the stage, no matter the audience, right? Yes. It can be small, it can be large. And I think maybe I didn't really think of that until we just were talking about it now. I was thinking like, getting in front of a group of people, or, being in front of a television camera, but we speak our message every single day. Every single day.
Exactly right. We're always on a platform.
Right.
Yeah, at school day, picking up the kids.
True.
It's a platform. So, which is why also I want people to speak authentically and be really deeply grounded to a cellular level in their message. And when you can find the language that fits you, that's authentically you, and therefore, and repeat it over and over so that you can actually ingrain it in your muscle memory, then you're able to speak organically from that place of deep centeredness. Mm-hmm. That's what we want. We don't want this, canned panache. It is crafted charisma, baby.
Yeah. Crafted charisma. I like that. Yeah, but that sounds like, because everybody you talk to is like, what's your elevator speech? And I'm like, I don't have an elevator speech. Like, I don't, because I've never really like latched onto that idea that I need to have a speech, but I can have a platform.
Yeah, that's right. And you can have a deeply anchored message.
Yes.
To the world.
I like deeply anchored. I love that. I'm writing that down too.
Good. It actually sits in your gut. It sits down in your gut. It's where thoughts and ideas meet emotions. And I say on my website, by the way, which I'm redoing at the moment, but it's where passion, it's a tumultuous sea where passion and emotion sit and toss around together. And when they all meet and connect beautifully, that's when your message comes together and you can speak it and share it.
So what does that feel like in your gut when it comes together?
That feeling of it just sits, it sinks in. It's right. It's that intuitive knowing that I've got it. Mm-hmm. It's that this is me, this is right.
Because when I think about that, like, I don't think I have a deeply anchored message. Because when I think about my message or talk about it, like my stomach flips. So I know that I don't have a deeply anchored message, right? Oh. Or a message that, I don't know, that maybe I'm like rooted in, like you said, like, because I think in my profession, there's a lot of expectations about who I should be or how I should practice. And so I feel like rogue sometimes, like I gotta please this group, and then I gotta please this group, but I need to not do that, because that's what gives me the stomach flip and I want to be over here. I don't want to be over here. So it gives me, the stomach thing,
I think it's about getting in touch with your why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, regardless of the audience, what is your why?
Right.
What is your calling in this world? Is it to bring greater happiness to the planet mm-hmm. and peace? So regardless of who your client is or who your audience is, if you can anchor to that why, then the way you go about it doesn't matter. That's the bit you'll work out, but your why is always the same.
Yeah. Yes. And as you're saying that, I'm like, my why is to end suffering around traditional medicine. Like, that is my why. And I think there's just too much suffering. So however I do that is, it's funny, I just said that and my stomach stopped turning.
There you go.
Weird. That's weird.
Yeah. Coming back to that why. And then it's the how you go about doing that. And some way you feel better. And maybe you're tossing around in the how and that's upsetting you, but keep coming back to your why. Mm-hmm. And then looking forward about how and you can have several hows.
Sure.
how you're going to do that. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. That was very helpful. I feel like I had a therapy session with you.
We can reverse roles here.
Yeah, exactly. I just have a question. Do you miss being on the television?
I do actually. I do. I really do. It was, it was high vibe. It was exciting. Live television was great. Pre-recorded stuff was great because you film it as if it is live.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, action, sound guy, 3 cameras, supporting host, products that go wrong.
Yeah.
Blooper reels that we're making, cracking up. It's great. And, the places that I saw and the people that I worked with, absolutely. But now I'm really working, I have a group coaching program called Expert Speak, and where it's a 3-month training program where people are wanting to find their voice and be able to share their message with effortless confidence, and overcome all of that crap that has plagued them for years with public speaking, imposter syndrome, fear, all of that stuff, nerves. And I get to work with people so deeply. And that is really enriching.
Yes.
So it's a trade-off. Whilst TV was fun and buzzy and high vibe, this is really deeply connecting. And there's some massive breakthroughs for people because there's many reasons why we struggle with our voice. It sits around our communication chakra, where we can't speak and we don't feel that we can be fully expressed because we've learned over our lifetime to dull down, dim ourselves, soften our light, dim the light, squish ourselves, hide our message, not believe in ourselves. And what I do is peel back the layers and enable people to find their true stance and their true message and bring it forward. It's very empowering.
I love it. I love it. So, I think, I'm not sure if my listeners know, but we have some stuff in common because I used to work in television. And so I was an intern at Good Morning America years ago. And then I made television commercials for several years after that. And it's funny because I'm like, wow, this podcast kind of went back to my broadcasting roots. And then,
Isn't it amazing how things go full circle?
Yes. Well, because back in the day when I was doing all this, the equipment was so large, like I just couldn't schlep it all around anymore. It was like carrying around a small Volkswagen or something every day. Now I've got this tiny webcam and I've got a little microphone over here and I can interview people like you across the world. It's fascinating. So I can't wait to see more videos that you have. And so how can people get a hold of you?
So my website is sampresents.com.au. You can check me out over there, but it's about to have a big upgrade and I'm going to sassy it up a bit. And in fact, I might use that All Things Public Speaking Goddess.
Oh, yes. Yeah. The goddess of all things public speaking. Yeah.
There you go. Because it's funny because I have been in this transition period and it's like, what do I call myself now?
Right.
I used to be this and I was worked as a voiceover artist for years. I've been the voice whore. If I haven't been the brand whore, I've been the voice whore. I've sold cherry ripe over radio or I've sold all sorts of things, dog food and stuff. People often recognize my voice. But and I go, I know your voice. I know your voice.
Right.
No, you don't, but you think
no, you don't. Yeah, exactly.
So people can find me at sampresents.com.au because I am in Australia. And just shoot me a message.
All right. And so anyone listening here, if you need to get clear on your message and really want that deeply anchored message that Sam was talking about, she is your gal. And all of her contact information will be in the show notes as well. Do you have a free download or anything that you want to share with anyone?
Yeah, well, gosh, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay.
Teralyn.
Maybe by the time this is done, it'll be there.
It'll be on the website. Be on the website.
Okay, so we'll have whatever she's got, we will have available for you in the show notes as well. So do you have anything else you'd like to share before we sign off?
Look, I just want to say to everybody that your message matters.
Yes.
Everybody's story matters, and it helps build the fabric of this world. And everybody is yearning and seeking out a deeper connection, a deeper understanding, and it's stories and messages like yours and mine that help create the fabric of our world. So please know that just as you are is enough. And even if you start with just a whisper, start sharing your story, start putting words to your message, and believe that your stance on things is enough. You're not aiming for people to agree with you. You're just aiming to stand true in what you believe.
I love it. That's a great place to end. Thank you so much, everyone. This was Sam Buckingham. And yes, thank you all for joining us. And yeah, we look forward to talking again soon. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.